the opportunity to insert the African American stories on that bus tour is the first place where I started.
One story, Betty tells, took place at nearby Port Chicago, a U.S. Navy munitions depot where African American sailors loaded artillery shells onto transport ships. These American servicemen were not welcome at the white-only USO, so Betty and her husband, Mel Reid, invited the young sailors into their home.
On July 17th of 1944, there were a group of sailors who he'd brought home, and we had spent the afternoon, as usual, listening to records, talking. That evening, they were on a curfew. They left about 5 o'clock. At 10:47, the explosion occurred. 2 Kaiser ships were blown up, were vaporized actually, and 320 men were killed. I never knew which of those youngsters survived that. And whenever I go up to do anything at Port Chicago to this day, I scan for names and wonder.
The sailors who were fortunate to survive the devastation refused to return to the Navy's dangerous work without new safety protections. 50 men were court-martialed, convicted of mutiny, and sentenced to prison. The unfortunate who died were subjected to even more indignity.
There were 22 caskets into which body parts were separated out and buried in the colored section of San Bruno Cemetery in California. Even knowing that there's a colored section in a federal cemetery, for me, was a shock. How they went about deciding which were the body parts to go into those 22 caskets, where would I have gone?